which is world's one of the largest auto parts manufacturer, which has a value of around $12 billion, and they have around 20% of revenue coming in from aftermarket. We have here with us Mr. Robert Felger and Michael Soding to discuss with us what kind of opportunity is evolving around the world in aftermarket. Welcome to ET Auto Summit.
Thank you very much.
How do you see the aftermarket? There are some conception that when there is a slowdown in the new car market, we see that aftermarket grows very fast in those periods. Is it true?
The aftermarket enjoys a good resilience against economic upturns or downturns, and so we enjoy a very good business in the aftermarket.
Okay.
But there is a perception that aftermarket could compensate the dynamics in the OE business, and that principally is not true. When there is a weakness in the economy, rich people can't afford a new car and poorer people can't afford a repair of an older car. So the cycle is following the same trend, but as Robert Felder said, the dynamic in the aftermarket is much more stable, so it is for the industry advisable to really have a good foot into the aftermarket.
Europe has not been doing quite well in the past few quarters, if you see at least. So how Schaeffler has maintained their profitability, their growth in those periods, how tough it was for you?
So we are known as a high technology company. We are investing quite heavily in new technology, and what Schaeffler is able is to increase the content of sales per vehicle every year.
What are the new product category where Schaeffler is looking at entering into aftermarket? Which are the potential category? We have seen AMT taking off very nicely in India. How do you see this technology? Is there a possibility that this can be a retrofitted technology because we have only OEM solution?
One of the big drivers in technology globally is fuel economy, CO2 emissions, which drives ever more efficient powertrains. And one factor, especially with petrol vehicles, is the optimized shift pattern an automatic transmission offers. For a long time, India was seen to be a big market for manual transmission, and automatic transmissions only for upmarket vehicles. That may change. AMT is one option. What we've seen in other markets is that AMT was an intermediate technology that eventually left to more advanced transmissions with torque converters or double clutch transmissions. So we may see AMT as an intermediate step to double clutch transmissions. In any case, it's very convenient if you're already invested into lay shaft transmission technology to stay along that path and not cross over to planetary gear transmissions.
What kind of global mega trend do you see in the aftermarket?
From a global perspective, every market is confronted with an ever-growing complexity. If you look into the roads of India, you see the same development as in every other given market. The number of models and makes is increasing dramatically, and that means forecasting the demand per part that has a demand on the road is the top theme of the day. Visiting distributors across India, they are reporting about the same problems that we see in every other market.
What are the main challenges that you face when you come to branding your product here in the aftermarket? Because you have a major presence in OEM in India so far. How do you want to make yourself available for the aftermarket in India? What are the major challenges?
So at first, we are following precisely the concept of Schaeffler in the OE side. We have premium quality products, and we are proud to use the same brands that our colleagues from OE are using at the suppliers of the automotive factories. What we see is that we have to include the end consumer further on into our branding, into our awareness activities. because via the internet and via more and more competence of the end users, they in future will also have their stake in the decision-making process, what products to buy and to favor.
Supply chain also becomes one of the major area of concern for aftermarket products. How do you manage this efficiently globally, and what are your plans for India?
At first, the lead time between the workshop and us is always much shorter than the lead time between us and the factories where we are getting our products from. Means we have to put a lot of focus on the forecasting of the demand in the market, and therefore we need a very close contact to the distributors to have a better understanding of what the trends are in every given market and every given product line.
How are you using IT to make it more accurate in terms of production?
So IT is number one, is supporting us in the forecasting as such, taking historical demand structures and forecasting them into the future. Number two, whenever possible, we communicate with our distributors via IT links when it comes to standard order processing, to order confirmation, invoicing, and all these related activities.
So, what is the current size of aftermarket in terms of revenue for Schaeffler? And going forward 5 years down the line, how do you see it growing?
So the aftermarket enjoys a share of about 15 to 20% with regards to the OE side. But we have to admit that every product and every range of products has its own life cycle. Obviously, our colleagues in the OE side these days are thinking in double clutch technology and automatic transmission, while we are, from a global perspective, very much into manual transmissions. And 10 years from now, the demand structure will also change for us. And so we have to admit there is different dynamics, but the share of 20+% within the given environment is our target.
So you will continue with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what are the new range of products that we can expect Schaeffler to be offering in the aftermarket that you were not there so far?
For one thing, we've just heard that the breadth of vehicles, of makes and models is increasing. We see on a global basis a merging car park, which means we will have more individual products per product line in every market. Plus, as technology advances, it will be more and more difficult to handle these products on a workshop level. So that will be the challenge of the future on the workshop level. And yes, we're complementing our range with more advanced product solutions around existing products. And there's a lot we can still do for the market and for our customer base beyond going to new product ranges.
How do you see India contributing to your total aftermarket revenue? Currently, you have around, how much do you earn from aftermarket globally?
So our revenue globally is exceeding 1 billion euro, and India is giving us good growth, but from a, let's say, as of today, quite low level. So we have high hopes on India as a market. And we are investing heavily into our organization here. Meanwhile, we have 70+ people dedicated for the automotive.
So you have you have set up one plant in Pune, if I'm not wrong, where you are producing aftermarket products, right? Is there any other program that you want to introduce here?
Schaeffler has a footprint of 5 factories across the country, with a dedication to the LUK, INA and FAG products, and automotive aftermarket always works as a subset. As I said before, we are related to the same quality levels and standards that our OE colleagues are doing, and having said that, it wouldn't make sense to separate an aftermarket factory out of the given environment of the OE.
If we see in India, there is a concern about spurious product in the aftermarket. How different is the situation in markets like Europe, Germany, US, and other emerging markets like South Africa, Brazil, China? What is the idea? How can we deal with this problem in India? If some learning that we can borrow from these markets.
I didn't get the beginning of the question because you were turning to.
Spurious products. That is a big problem in India.
You mean counterfeits?
Yeah, counterfeit.
Yeah. So we are approaching that two ways. Number one, we have to create awareness in the aftermarket about premium quality and about the brand that is behind. And number two, whenever we get knowledge to some products available in the market, we take all measures that it needs to fight this counterfeit back, including to destroy the product in question. So whenever we get knowledge there is a container moving from one harbor to the next, we are getting in touch with customs and clear that this is a counterfeit part and destroy it immediately.
Okay, in India, what is your plan to fight with this counterfeit product that we have in Indian market, especially coming in from China and all? What is your plan to fight with this?
The strategy is to have a strong set of brands and a loyal distribution base. That is the backbone. And then we're almost completely sure that we only have our own product in the market. And then let's not forget, there's not only counterfeit product, but there is also low quality or suspicious service or maintenance, which is at least as much important. So you need to be able to